Calling Somalia a trash country doesn't make it true. Every nation has challenges, including US. But Somalis are strong, united, and hopeful. But respect is a choice, and we choose dignity. We are proud, strong, and full of hope. Your words do not define us.
It's that act of looking over my shoulder, which pains me because I am a United States citizen. This is my home, and I don't want to feel unsafe in my home. It's harassment disguised as law enforcement.
Are people afraid to leave their homes right now?
They are afraid, yeah. I've heard of people carrying extra identification on them, like passport.
That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country.
In a meeting with automotive industry leaders on Wednesday, Trump repeated his view from the previous day that Somalians shouldn't be in Minnesota, the state home to the largest Somali diaspora in the country. On Tuesday, he had described Somalis as garbage.
What's it like being a Muslim here in the United States?
I'm not speaking English, only one Somali language.
What does it mean to you to be a part of Islam?
I don't know, I'm not speaking English very well.
How are you? Do any of you speak English? English? No. Can women speak on camera? No. I kept going because I wanted to speak with some more of the elders here to see if they could share their story about coming here from Somalia and how they've seen the rise firsthand. However, none of them spoke English. How are you? Can I ask any of you guys some questions? No? Speak English?
English no.
No? Do any of you speak English? After a few interviews, somebody came up to us angry because we were asking people about the rise of Islam inside this community. My name is Dick Shirley.
What are you doing?
My name is Dick Shirley. I'm a YouTuber. We're doing a video on the rise of Islam here in the United States.
The rise of Islam.
Yeah, it's the number one converting religion.
The rise of Islam. Make it make sense for me.
Yeah, it's the number one it's the number one converting religion in the United States. So we're doing a top
the
subject
number
on it.
one converting religion in the United States.
It's like the number one growing religion. So
wait, isn't it after Christ?
African-American woman about 25 years ago apparently warned the Somali community about what's going to take place in Minnesota. She basically warned them and said, you guys are going to become just like us if you don't take initiative and open up communities and invest in the youth, etc., etc., etc. You don't need to do all those things. Because one thing that Somalis do have, and unfortunately African-Americans don't, that Somali culture is rooted in Islam. It's rooted in La ilaha illallah. And when you see situations like this, it's so upsetting because the line between Somalis and African Americans in a few generations will absolutely disappear because we forgot about Islam. So a lot of parents combat this and send their kids back to Africa because the United States will eat you alive. And I'm sure this happens not just in Minnesota, but in UK and Canada as well. But if we want things to change, we need to keep the main thing the main thing. These individuals above me lack purpose. If you lack purpose, you get caught up with the law. Why are we doing this to ourselves? This is definitely worse than the African Americans. Because had the African Americans had Islam, I don't think they'd be so corrupt and getting up to foolishness as they are today. We gotta do better, people.
Amigo, oh, don't pee, man. Sorry. Move back. Out the way, boys. You will get knocked down. Move.
Guys, Donald Trump administration is seriously deporting illegal migrants in US. This morning I saw a video of an African man who was stopped by immigration police. They stopped him and asked him to provide his identity card. This guy acted as if he wanted to give them his identity card. I guess the guy is an African man. So the guy acted as if he wanted to give them his identity card, and the guy took off. The guy ran away. You know, the immigration officer was not able to chase after him. That was how the guy saved himself from being deported. Now listen to me. If you are living in USA, and you know you have no documents, you don't have the right papers, stay indoors. They are going street to street. They are stopping people on the road. Stop people on the road and ask them for identity card. So if you know you have no documents, this is not big boy. If you are working illegally in USA, hide yourself. Stay indoors in order not to be deported. You see, this is what I keep telling people. I keep saying the future is unknown. And I always say, prepare for the worst. Always. I always say it. I said, listen, as long as you live, always create options for yourself. Create alternatives for yourself. Now, there are many people that are living in the Western world, many African people, or people from poor countries who are living in the Western world, who came here and relaxed, believing that it's going to be like that forever. Do you understand what I mean now? Wherever you are living, let me tell you, wherever you live, make sure you create alternatives for yourself.
It was hurtful, it was shameful, it was disgraceful, but also it was flat out wrong. Calling not only our congresswoman garbage, but calling the entire community garbage, saying they're good for nothing. It is a community that has been resilient, that has produced so much. We are teachers and doctors and lawyers and even politicians taking part of every part of Minnesota's economy and the nation's economy. And so right now, this is nothing more than political theater in time for the midterms in which he wants to rally his base. Language matters, and we know that hateful rhetoric and language leads to action. And right now, our community is afraid. We've seen that our president and ICE has overstepped and has consistently and continuously violated our residents' constitutional rights. And what I mean by that is this going far beyond just immigration enforcement. We've seen residents, US citizens, getting detained and released. And so President Trump made it very clear. He said he wants all Somalis gone, not just a category of them, not just the ones he thinks that are bad, but all Somalis. I've heard from our young people, folks that were born in America that have never seen Somalia. In fact, some whose parents were born in America, reaching out to us saying that they're fearful, that they feel like they have to walk around with their passports because they don't want to be targeted. And in America in 2025, that should not be happening.
Hi, so I just really want to make this video from like a human space. This is something I've been really meaning to say, and I'm so glad that I can finally articulate it to you guys. So I'm Somali. I grew up in Minnetonka. I've been raised here my entire life. I am born here and I've lived here. I've studied here. I'm a pre-med. I do research, and that's usually the type of stuff I talk about on my page. But right now I feel like it's really important for me to say this. What I'm going to say is that I have been getting so many messages telling me to go back to your country, go back to your country. But the reality of the situation is the United States is the only country I've ever known my entire life. And the thing is, the great irony of it all is I'm not the ambassador of Somalia. I don't speak for Somali people. I'm not a spokesperson for this community. I'm just one young person trying to study, navigate life, and live like any other 20-something-year-old living here in this state. And so something that I feel like is going on is that there's a lot of immigrant people and first-gen, second-gen kids like me with this weight on our shoulders trying to explain everything going on in our communities, trying to defend our communities. But I'm really no different from any other 20-something-year-old trying to make it here in this state, in this country, in this world. And so I'm sharing this because I really feel like a lot of us are being treated this way and dealing with this quietly. But the reality is we aren't symbols. We aren't some type of ambassador. We are just human beings like everybody else.
You guys, me and my cousin went grocery shopping. We came back and then we saw this guy getting arrested by federal agents. Like they literally put him in handcuffs and everything. And it was so scary. I was so scared. I've never seen anything like that before. But you guys be careful. I don't know if he was a criminal. I don't know if he did something wrong. I don't know if he was getting deported. I really don't know. But I just saw that and it was kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. But be careful, guys. Stay safe and have your passports on you at all times because This is not good. This is Trump's America, guys. Okay, everybody be careful, please.
If you want a good laugh today, check this out.
Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive. Somalis have always seen themselves as the fabric of this nation. So not only are we not going anywhere, we are not going to allow anybody to make us feel less Minnesotan or less American.
First and foremost, Little Miss Brusband. I don't feel American. I am American, so no one can make me feel less than or less like something that I already am because I was born that. And the real problem stems from the fact that you believe that you are the fabric of this nation. By the way, that metaphor refers to people that share fundamental structures, values, beliefs, you know, culture and all this stuff. Didn't you come from Somalia, where the country's major fabric is Islam, what holds that nation together? And in Islam, you either convert or die. That's their belief system, correct? Or you force them to believe what you believe. Didn't Minnesota change their flag for you? See, if you were the fabric of this nation as you're espousing, you wouldn't have come to change the area you're in. You would assimilate and join in and share your culture and share your beliefs without forcing it on anybody, because no means no. But you guys don't believe in that. If I don't believe what you believe, you say I should die. So please miss me with that.
We tried to tell y'all 20 years ago when y'all started mass immigrating to Minnesota that something would happen to your youth. But you guys chose to take that moment and talk about how lost and how violent and how uneducated our youth was. You guys took that opportunity when we were trying to tell you that something is going on with the system in Minnesota that causes minority youth to go crazy and basically out of their mind with war and hate. We try to tell y'all, right? 20 years ago, probably more than 20 years ago, we tried to tell y'all. Y'all took the opportunity to tell us how out of control our black kids was and how lost they is and how better y'all is than us, right? Now look at it. Every time I turn on the news, y'all kids is on there shooting up schools, shooting up parties, shooting up malls, shooting up blocks, shooting up everything. It's almost like y'all brought that warrior, fighter, civil war stuff that's over there in y'all country. It's almost like y'all brought it here. And we tried to tell y'all, invest in community things for the children. We tried to tell y'all, invest in after school places for the children. We tried to tell y'all, invest in mentorship for the children. But guess what? Y'all ain't do it because y'all didn't want our little black kids involved, right? Right? Now look at you. Y'all done bought up the Boys and Girls Clubs over in Minneapolis, planning on turning them into housing when really y'all need to turn them back into Boys and Girls Clubs so these kids can have somewhere safe to go where there are mentors that are going to help guide them into the right path for life. Let's talk about that. Y'all steadily building malls. Y'all steadily building housing. Y'all forgetting about schools for the kids. Y'all just then left them kids behind, huh? Y'all ain't even care about y'all kids. That's why y'all was talking shit about ours, huh? Now look at y'all. Gotta backtrack. And y'all really need to link up with the other minorities on this, more specifically the black ones, because we've been trying to tell y'all for 20 years that they done took the trades out the school. We done tried to tell y'all for 20 years that they done took all the community centers up out of the neighborhoods. We've been trying to tell y'all for years that they took all the programs and camps away from the churches. We've been trying to tell y'all that we seen the demise of our kids happening before our eyes while we are being oppressed and can barely do anything about it. Y'all came over here, y'all got them government grants. Y'all using all of our government money to bring more people here, but y'all ain't doing nothing for the community. And that is exactly why y'all's kids is turning out just like ours. Y'all didn't want to help ours. Nobody's going to save y'all's. I hate to be the breaker of bad news, but the fact of the matter is, we told y'all 20 years ago, but y'all was too busy. Oh, we're better. Y'all too busy doing that shit, right? Than to be listening and planning, huh? Now look at y'all. This administration on y'all ass, about to start redlining y'all, about to start taking everything away that they let y'all build. And look at y'all, didn't even build nothing for the kids. And now your kids is lost. And now they about to start filling up the prisons with them. They're not going to send y'all kids back to Somalia. They're going to start filling up the prison so they can get free labor out of y'all. Don't say we didn't tell y'all 20 years ago.
Trump is calling for the deportation for Somali people, and he is sending ICE into the Somali community. Black people, you might want to sit this one out. Even though you can look at the Somali people and see that they have black, brown skin, you cannot tell them that. They say they don't look like black people. The culture is different. They don't want anything to do with blackness and black culture. They do not fuck with black people, and they get mad if you call them black. And the sad part is, this is deeply rooted. They are taught this shit in the churches, in their communities. Just take a listen to how they talk about black people.
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, or most of them, were the product of one night stand. One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا. أبناء الزنا. Why? Because man, he has to give up the seed. And because the marriage will limit them, they will go from one to another to a third.
Somalis are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now, chat, am I black? I'm literally brown. I'm literally brown, bro. Think about it as well. Somalis are Arabs.
Are you guys black? Are Habesha people black? I would consider.
We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it.
Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black.
Somalia, which is barely a country, you know, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage.
Now, I'm not saying all Somalis feel like this. And I'm not saying that what Trump is doing is right. All I'm saying is, I'ma just sit this one out. Do what y'all want. But let me know what you think in the comments.